Welcome everyone. We are going to begin the webinar on corrosion protection. Credit toward ICAR knowledge areas can be awarded by completing the class and following the instructions at the end of the presentation. I'm Melissa Joels with RDA Impact. We have Dennis Beardsley, North American Training Manager, and Kevin Creegan, National Accounts Manager, Automotive Aftermarket for Saint-Gobain, and they are both your presenters today. Presentation will take approximately 45 minutes. And at the end of the presentation, we will send you a test, which you will need to complete and email back to Dennis with your ICAR information. And we will include instructions with this. We are recording the presentation and we'll make it available to everyone in attendance today. And if you do have questions, you can type them in the chat box at the bottom right of your screen, and they will be answered at the end of the presentation. Now I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for the smooth transition introduction. Appreciate that. As Melissa mentioned at the conclusion of the presentation today, you can actually apply for and receive ICAR Alliance training credit, good towards annual responsibilities or annual requirements for ICAR training at no charge. So you or your customers, once they complete that test and send it in to Melissa, we'll get them submitted and you can receive that credit. We'll go ahead and get started. So at the top of the dial here, you should see a nice blue Shelby Mustang, and this kicks off our corrosion protection module. Saint-Gobain Abrasives is a sustaining partner of the ICAR Training Alliance. And what that means is basically the sustaining partners have collaborated with ICAR, and we are now providing ICAR training credit at no charge to the industry. Full disclosure here, and I have to read this. It is a policy of Saint-Gobain Abrasives to fully disclose to all participants in this course that Saint-Gobain Abrasives is a provider of the curriculum used in this course. Refinished Solutions Group, an initiative of Saint-Gobain Abrasives, sells the products that are taught and used in this course. Antitrust, if we were gathered together, we would this disclosure would have a little bit more significance. But we follow the Combines Act, which protects free trade. There would be no discussions on pricing, times, or labor rates, and no discussion on how a body shop or collision repair company conducts its business. As I mentioned earlier, we are an ICAR sustaining partner. As a sustaining partner, we support ICAR's vision and mission of delivering the latest repair knowledge and training to every collision repair technician. We believe in doing the right thing for the industry by helping deliver complete, safe, quality repairs to the ultimate benefit of our families, friends, and neighbors. The way the ICAR sustaining partnership works is it helps reduce training costs overall. As a sustaining partner, we encourage body shops to continue or even increase training to stay current with today's complex vehicles. We reduce school fees. As a partner, we provide financial support to technical schools to allow more schools to run programs that develop better trained entry-level technicians. And as we all know, competent technicians in our industry are a little hard to find these days. Finally, provide safe repairs is a key component of the program. As a partner, we provide the resources to help ICAR develop and deliver the training and services needed for safe repairs. We are dedicated to repairing vehicles the right way, first time, every time. Train shops, we feel, are better partners. ICAR studies show that gold class shops outperform non-gold class shops in terms of cost of repair metrics. Gold class shops also have the knowledge and skills that contribute to complete, safe, and quality repairs. Providing the right repair information is critical in the repair process, and the education and information ICAR provides emphasizes the importance of using quality parts and services and OEM repair procedures. It's very important to follow OEM procedures. These steps result in repairs being performed correctly the first time, every time. Repairing vehicles right also means reducing liability and expenses. Supporting the ICAR Sustaining Partner Program allows ICAR to supply the information and training the industry needs to perform safe and quality repairs. This puts consumers back on the road safely, quickly, and reduces potential liability faced by automakers, insurers, and repairers alike. Finally, ICAR helps make happy customers. ICAR trained shops produce more satisfied customers, higher CSIs, and industry metrics indicate that satisfied customers are more likely to remain loyal to brands. As Melissa mentioned, at the end of the course, there will be a 10 to 15 question test. Passing the test will allow a student or your customer perhaps to receive certification affirming completion of the course, and passing the test will allow the student to apply for ICAR credit equivalent of 2 hours at no cost. Couple fun facts about Saint-Gobain abrasives. You may or may not know that we are a strong global company. We operate in over 68 countries. We have a team of research and development scientists who actively file upwards of 400 patents each year. The company itself is over 350 years old, one of the top industrial companies in the world with around 1,000 manufacturing customers worldwide. We've got almost 200,000 employees and 100 plus nationalities represented in the organization. 1 out of 4 products sold by Saint-Gobain abrasives did not exist 5 years ago, and that's a real important, interesting statistic. Whether it's construction materials or aerospace and defense initiatives, we're at the forefront. Our mission is that Saint-Gobain designs, manufactures, and distributes materials and solutions which are key ingredients to the well-being of all of us and the future of all. They can be found everywhere in our living spaces, in our daily life, in buildings, transportation, infrastructure, and in many industrial applications. They provide comfort, performance, safety, while addressing the challenges of sustainable construction, resource efficiency, and climate change. In North America, you might be interested to know that many of our coated abrasives are made right here in North America. We've got a plant in Stephenville, which acts as a converting facility. Reynosa, Mexico acts as a manufacturer of coated abrasives. Tijuana, Mexico, much the same. Plattsville, Ontario, Troy, New York, and Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania. All locations supporting the Saint-Gobain brand. Products, talking a little bit about each one. Sandpaper conversion at Stephenville, and belts. Conversion means basically taking a product from a huge, what we call jumbo roll, and cutting it into discs, 3-inch, 6-inch sheet goods, etc. Reynosa, Mexico makes our non-woven products, the Beartex scuff pads and the like. Tijuana, Mexico includes manufacture of specialties such as flap wheels, cross pads, etc. Plattsville, Ontario makes sheet goods, abrasive sheets, and retail packaged products. Troy, New York manufactures abrasive belts, file belts you see pictured there. And finally, Montgomeryville, PA manufactures abrasive films and jumbo, the large rolls that we were talking about earlier. So you've heard me mention the Refinished Solutions Group. Exactly what is the Refinished Solutions Group? It consists of a group of industry leaders, best of class manufacturers, which have come together. Saint-Gobain has brought together to leverage their core experience into and expertise into one powerful network to assist you and your customers in improving the refinishing process and increasing profitability. With the combined combination of all the years of experience with each of the companies, Norton, DeVilbiss, Carborundum, Fuser, Hutchins, Brekla, American Brands, American Tapes, and SolarGuard, there's well over 700 years of industry experience that we can bring to bear. These are the companies that represent the Refinished Solutions Group, starting at the top with Norton, our own Saint-Gobain company, Carborundum, another Saint-Gobain company, both abrasives manufacturers. Brekla Products, which is wholly owned now by Saint-Gobain. SolarGuard, window tints, etc. American Tape is one of our partner brands. DeVilbiss, another partner brand. Fuser and Hutchins, rounding out the RSG brand of solutions. So today we're going to talk a little bit about corrosion protection. I'm going to turn control of the meeting over to my competent associate, Mr. Dennis Beardsley, training manager for the US. And Dennis, if you're ready.
I am.
Very good. You can take us from here.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. We're going to talk about corrosion protection. This is a really fun subject for me. You can go ahead and throw me the next slide. This is what we're going to do. Safety, handling aerosols, cavity wax, Ecoat, primers, and rocker panel texture coating. We're going to hit all those. All right. Look at that. Look at that guy. Obviously, gloves, eye protection, respirator if you need to, N95, and whatever makes sense in what you're doing. If you're spraying or using solvents and so on, protect yourself. Always wear the proper protective equipment. Okay. All right. When we handle aerosols, we want to shake it for 2 minutes, and like that, right? Make sure you can hear the ball going. Use it in a well-ventilated area. We're looking for 68 degrees, and up in the Northeast here, last week it was 70, and now outside it's a balmy 39, right, Kevin? And so the temperature can swing pretty quickly. You want to make sure that it's the correct temperature so it sprays correctly. If it's too cold, the aerosol is not going to work too well. So you want to make sure that it's warm enough to spray, and of course shake it, well-ventilated area. Make sure to always invert the can upside down after you're done to clear it out, and then wipe the nozzle clear if there's any coatings left behind or cavity wax, right? It's only for professional use. Always read the TDS, and always for any product that's in the shop, you have to have the SDS for that product. All right. Again, there's a great example, turning the can upside down after you're done using it. All right. You want it to be 68 to 72 degrees, and make sure the nozzle is clean. Cavity wax. So why we use it? All the OEMs, right? They want you to use corrosion protection, not just after repair. It's very important after repair, right? So if you use a stud gun or grind on a panel and then pull it, you can potentially burn the coating on the back side, and you want to coat it with whatever the paint company tells you to do, probably epoxy, and then you want to use a cavity wax if you can get to it. All right, cavity wax is going to coat it, but you want to also use cavity wax if on brand new parts. Even if it doesn't have cavity wax from the factory, they want you to, they being the OEMs, want you to coat it with a cavity wax. You know, where I'm speaking from now, this is, I'm in Albany, New York. Kevin's in Ohio. We're part of the Rust Belt, right? They put all sorts of stuff on those roads these days, and, you know, brines and salt and all sorts of things to melt the ice and snow out there. But they're rough on cars, so we want to make sure that these cars have the correct amount of cavity wax on there. All right. Go ahead, next one. So we have our own RSG channel on YouTube. I definitely encourage you to take a look at that. Our cavity wax is OEM approved. We have a flexible 360-degree applicator wand, and the cool thing about it, you can bend it to whatever design you need to get in there in that tight area, and apply it in a 360-degree wand. All right, great crevice penetration, and it dries firm with a slight amount of tack in there. And later on, I'll show you. I got an example that's a year old in the way it holds. Go ahead, the next one. This is a cool test with the SAE test results. This is a salt spray cabinet, right? So we put the cavity wax on there. You can see the 20 cycles, what it looks like, and then with the 40 cycles, the longer it's in there, the more it's simulating outside conditions in a salt area, in a rust belt area. Okay, next one. We want to make sure when we put on the cavity wax, we close the windows and doors, right? Should be completely free of any dirt and oil or grease. Shake the can up for 2 minutes. Spray multiple coats, all right? So what that means, and again, we're going to show you, you're going to spray it, let it flash for a couple minutes, turn it 90 degrees, and then reapply the product. Make sure you leave access through drain holes on the bottom of doors and any plugs or anything, so you don't stop up that material. All right. Make sure if you're going to just use it without the wand, you know, keep it 12 inches away, all right, from the work. You can move horizontally, of course. Allow the product to flash before a second coat, right? And clean the wand. If you use the wand, you want to grab some thinner, and again, I'm going to show you that in a second. You want to clean up this wand before you put it away for storage until the next job, and then wipe away any excess from drain holes and plugs. This is where you want to put it. So everywhere on the car, all right? And you know, I'm going to say this a few times. You want to use of cavity wax 1 can per week per tech, all right? And what that means is, if, again, not just the repair panels, but also panels that are brand new, newly painted. After it's painted, before it goes on the car, or even on the car, you put cavity wax on it, and then put it out to service, right? Next one. So Ecoat is so, just my final word on cavity wax. Make sure that you get a proper amount of product on there, 2 coats. Again, keep in mind 1 can per tech. All right, Ecoats. Ecoats and aerosols, they're corrosion resistant. The key is restoring the panel on the back side of it to duplicate what's coming off of the car. So for example, if you have a fender and you pull it off and it's an olive color from the factory, and you buy a new panel that's a black Ecoat, you need to change that color back to that olive, right? So you want to make sure not just the exterior of the panel matches, but also the interior And again, you get that proper amount of cavity wax after you're all done. Suitable over any E-coats, right? Vehicle floors, engine bays, cross members, and so on. Can be used as a direct-to-metal primer, all right, on bare steel and aluminum, and a standalone coating, which means it doesn't need anything else over top of it. Compatible with most solvent and waterborne systems. Here's the thing. It will have a bigger, this material that we have from Revive will have a larger pattern and much better hiding than products that are out there in the market. Next. And here's an example of our colors. Black, gray, olive green, light green, tan, white, olive brown, dark green, and field drab, all right? These are your major colors that you're gonna run out and see out there in the field. And again, they can go direct to metal. Again, we have this, when you see the YouTube single, the insignia there, you can go to our channel, RSG, and click on RCE Codes, and you'll see what we're talking about in video form. You wanna make sure you solvent clean the area, scuff existing E-coat surfaces with a gray pad, bare steel, aluminum, sand it with 320, right? Shake the can thoroughly for at least 2 minutes, apply 1 to 2 coats, and 5 minutes between coats, 5 to 10 between coats, depending on air movement and temperature. Next. And here's a proven corrosion protection. This is a 100-hour salt spray test on the left side with the Ecoat, and then here on the right side is the rubberized undercoat. All right, you can see the performance. I mean, on the left side, you can see a competitive product after a 100-hour salt spray test. It's corroding pretty bad. To the right, not so bad. On the right side, you can see it checking with the competitor's product, and our rubberized undercoat's holding on there. So, next. Weld through primer. So many manufacturers will, if you're MIG welding, will ask you to use a weld through primer prior to the MIG welding. You want to use it where they say to use it. If they say not to, then of course you don't. But there are manufacturers that ask for a zinc weld through primer, and just clean the area where you're going to strike the arc. The surrounding area will have that zinc weld through primer. Next. Clean and abrade it, right? 1 to 2 coats, allow to dry 10 to 20 minutes before welding. It can't be wet product, or it's gonna start on fire. So that would not be good. Make sure it flashes, and then you'll be good to go. All right. Next. Acid etch primer. A lot of folks like the ability to have an acid etch primer, little burn throughs on areas, sand through areas on new panels and so on. Great application for an acid etch primer. Works very good. Excellent adhesion and corrosion protection to bare metals. All right, next. You want to clean it. You want to sand it with 280 to 320 grit. Again, shake it up. You allow 3 to 5 minutes between coats, 1 to 2 coats if necessary. Allow 10 to 20 minutes before a primer, filler, or color that's going over top of it. All right, if it sits longer than an hour, reapply and scuff with the Vertex maroon scuff pad if it goes beyond that hour. Next. Rocker panel texture coating. Great product that we have here. This is perfect for texture durable texture coat that is for medium type of textures, okay? If you're looking for a product that has unbelievable build, like our Toyota Tacoma and Toyota Tundra, that's gonna require a sprayable seam sealer, and we can do that. A lot of folks make the mistake of using products like this that and don't wait any of the flash times, which we'll talk about in the next slide, and then we get ourselves in trouble, and it's not gonna work that well if we're piling on mils and mils and mils of paint without letting it flash. So go ahead and next one. Again, we have a great YouTube video on this. We want to clean it. We want to abrade with 180 grit to 240. All right. You want to make sure that you do a test panel too before. We don't want to test on the car, so we want to test on a piece of cardboard or masking paper to make sure that we get the correct texture we're looking for, right? We want to make sure that we're not practicing on the car, all right? We allow 15 to 20 minutes between coats and 4 hours dry time before top coat maximum, right? So you can come up with, you know, majority of textures you can work with the Revive texture coat. Just be aware of the heavy bodied stuff. Try not to, don't ask this product to do something that's not going to be able to do. You're going to, you know, the Revive texture coat can handle the everyday texture, the heavy stuff. You're going to spray seam sealer. Go ahead, next one.
Hey, Dennis, before we leave this slide, just how important is it to allow for, you know, the complete dry time or complete cure time when using this product?
It's critical. I appreciate you saying that. Actually, you're in my head, Kevin, which is great. I was going to do an example here of what happens, right? So a lot of folks, I did a corrosion class on Monday, and it was a live class, and we were having this dialogue and said, you know, hey, when you're in the shop, what part of the process are we doing texture coat? And the guys in the training said, you know what? We're doing this when it's in the booth. I said, oh, and we're doing it on the car, and you know, and we're rushing it. I said, okay. And the feedback I got is, hey, we don't want to do that, because if we don't wait our flash times, we can get ourselves in trouble, right? So just like any paint, all the solvent will leave the job, but if you trap it and you keep piling on coats with no flash times, which they were leading me to believe that that's what happens, then you're going to run into trouble. So you want to make sure that you plan it out, right? Just like getting a color for a car, you plan it out, make sure you can do it, right? We make sure it's clean, it's abraded correctly. We wait our flash times for that product, and you're going to be just fine.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's a good one. All right. Right. So what we talked about, how to handle aerosols, cavity wax, where to use it, how much to use, Ecoat, right? Properties, where to use it, and primers and texture coating. Now, what I wanted to do now, I believe, correct, Kevin? I believe it's time for me to show you. Can you see? Can you see me now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Get my gloves on. Let me know when you can see me.
Still not yet.
I'll shape it up. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. So a couple things to think about here. Oh, it's already see me. Hi. All right. So you're going to see me take some tape with gloves on. All right, put it right here. So the reasoning behind that is when it comes out of the tube, and I'll show you here. All right, as I'm spraying it, there we go. As it comes out, I'm going to see, when I see orange tape, I'm going to depress the cavity wax so I don't get hit in the face when it comes out, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you. So this is the cavity wax by Revive. I'm going to get a nice good coat with that 360-degree one. I can see the tape. So now I know it's coming to an end, right? And I'm going to let that flash, right? I'll put this back up here. I'm going to let this flash, right, for a few minutes. And then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. I'm going to do that right now, 90-degree turn. All right, so I'm ready to do it again. This one right here, I did about, I don't know, 8-9 months ago. All right, you can see right here, perfect, really good hold, right? The colorance is right. I know this is clear, but if this was a black E-coated panel, you could see it. It's very visual. You know, you got it done. All right, and again, making sure right here that if we have to manipulate the wand in any direction, it will hold that way. There's a lot of wands that are out there that are won't hold the shape, and I've worked with them, and when you pull it out, it's kind of whipping all over the place and getting kind of nuts. You don't that doesn't sound fun, right? I don't want that getting all over the place, especially when I'm using a can a week of this material, right? So again, all new panels need the cavity wax, right? So hoods, fenders, doors, and so on. We want to make sure we don't blast the windows, you know, electronics and so on. We just want to get on that alloy, be it steel or aluminum. So next coat right here, I've already turned my wand. Okay. So we're hitting it with the second coat. I can see my tape there, so I let it go. There we go. You got 2 applications there. So now I have to clean it. So what I do here, all right, I can grab my thinner bottle, which I'm going to do. And I'm just going to put it right here and clean it out.
Hey, Dennis, why do you have to clean it now?
Because I don't want to forget.
All right.
No, so I'm all done with it. I've done 2 coats. Great question, right? I've done 2 coats. I want to clean it up for the next job. So I want to make sure that I don't have any, you know, it doesn't dry up in the wand, and I can use it again. All right.
Makes sense.
All right. I'll just show you here, just because I'm kind of crazy. There we go. Give it a wipe down. I'm going to keep the orange tape on there because, well, for the next time, I don't want to forget. All right. So that's our cavity wax. All right. You can see right here, this is the one we just did. And that's one's 8-9 months old. So holds real good. This is going to dry down real good, and we'll be good to go. Any questions on that, Kevin, before I move on to E-coats and cavity wax?
No, it makes sense. That's for sure.
E-coats.
I could see where that color would really stand out too on a black E-coated panel. You know, tech could probably get a real good idea of the coverage pretty easily.
There's a lot of folks that, it's a good point. there's a lot of folks that will, take a look, re-inspect the car, put a bore scope down in there. It's very visual, so you can see it, and the customer can see it, that what they're buying is they're getting it put on there, right? It's so important to that corrosion protection of that vehicle. It's critical, right?
So what else are you going to show us here, Dennis?
Well, next I'm going to show you some of our Ecoats. So my first one, so this is our gray. All right. All right, I want to shake real good, right? All right.
Within the Ecoat family, Dennis, what do you see out there as being some of the most popular colors?
It used to always be olive, right? Olive was the one. Now that's a great question. Now I'm seeing white. I'm seeing, of course, light greens now. And something I want to show you the light green one right here. Black, of course. So I want to show you two things. I want to show you the pattern on this, and then the hiding of it. Right there.
Covering right over that, the black paint checks.
So I want to clean it up right here, right? Give it a wipe just in case, did it upside down, and I'm good to go. Put the cap back on it, and we're ready to move on from it, right?
Is that like about a 4-inch fan, you think? Or, I mean, just trying to get some scale.
Let's ask. That's fine.
There you go.
One
There you
pass, or two passes, right? So yeah, a 4-inch right on a button.
Okay.
Yep. So this is, you can see that, right? That's
Yep.
That's 9.5 inches right there. So good stuff. All right. Something we've been seeing is the increased amount of white. I know I'm white paper, I know. So let's see how that works. Okay. White Ecoats, all right. But yeah, to your point, it's, we're kind of all over the place with colors, but again, they'll come with a black Ecoat, and I'm thinking of a Honda. I have a Honda quarter panel here, and it comes black, but it has to be olive.
Gotcha.
All right. So the next thing I want to show you is our rocker texture panel. Rocker panel texture coat, excuse me. And it comes with two spray heads there. So what you want here.
Why does it come with two?
So different textures, great question. So this is the black one. All right. Black cap, and then we'll put the white cap on there. More directional, less pattern, more concentrated with the white, a little bit more build. Okay. Critical point here, Kevin, is to make sure you make sure it flashes. Those are really, both of them are really good first coats, and try to figure out, hey, what's going to match my vehicle, and do your test panel, and then work on the car. All right.
So if I need to build, or if I need to over apply, how much time again between, coats?
I would do, 5 to 10 minutes between coats.
Okay.
Yep. Again, more air movement, more heat lowers that number. That's a good question. but we want to make sure that we wait our flash times. But to our point earlier, what happens is this: do not do this, right?
Wow, that's a lot of material.
That's a lot of material. We do not want to do that. See, here, this is almost flashed off. Even though it needs a little bit more, this is going to take forever. This is going to trap solvents in there. And, you know, at best, solvent pop. At worst, you know, it could delaminate from itself if you pile on a time. And we certainly do not want to have that to happen. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to trap solvents like that. So
Yeah, I could see if that got top coated, that there could be some problems. Yep.
yeah. So wait your flash times, and then you'll get a good. You should be able to see that pretty decent, right, Kevin? You can see the texture. Okay.
The texture, we really can't see that great, but definitely the gloss.
Yeah. Okay. And again, if you need, you know, really heavy bodied stuff that you can't match with the Revive texture coat, you know, spray our seam sealers, be it Fuser or Norton brand seam sealers, and you're going to get what you need for your texture coat.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
The other thing I was going to mention, you know, of course, our E-coats, we have high build primers right here, an aerosol. We have the spray gun paint remover. So instead of using a thinner bottle, right, aerosol gives a little bit of push coming out of the gun when you have to clean the gun. This stuff works really great. I use it all the time here at the training center here in Troy. So, you know, I strongly recommend working with that.
Okay.
Any other
Good job. Good job. I'll take us back to the presentation here.
Cool.
At least I think I'll take us back to the presentation. There we are. So we've already completed the review.
Mm-hmm.
And the questions, I guess we'll have to defer maybe to questions that could be submitted to Melissa,
Sure.
since everybody is in a muted mode. But I think, except for the wrap up here, I think we're just about done.
Excellent.
We don't have any questions yet. You know, you guys can type them in the chat box or raise your hand. I can unmute you. And of course, I will follow up with Dennis's information so you can contact him directly. If you have questions, you want to ask him later.
Anytime.
Excellent. So Melissa has a copy of the test, and she can send that out to the field and send that to you. And if you'll return it back to her, we'll ensure that you get the credit toward your particular competency or ongoing education. And I guess on behalf of Dennis and the rest of the team at RSG, we certainly do appreciate the time that you took from your businesses today to attend this training seminar, and hopefully it was a productive exercise.
And thank you guys both so much. I just want to correct one thing. I am going to send everybody the test as well as Dennis's contact information, but we are going to have you fill out the test and send it to Dennis. His email is right on there, and you can fill it out online. You can fill the test out online. I'll send you a copy of this PowerPoint, as well as we'll have a copy of this recorded webinar in the next day or so. So we appreciate everybody taking time out today to join us, and we'll be in touch with upcoming training opportunities. And again, thank you, Kevin and Dennis. We appreciate you taking time out to share this information with our members and our shops. Thanks, everyone. Take care.